Donald Trump's health is collapsing. I mean, just look at him right here. His mental and physical health and complete paranoia has taken over during the war, and Iran knows it. Iran is making videos playing on Donald Trump's paranoia to try to taunt and haunt and mock him. I want to give you some examples of Donald Trump physically and mentally deteriorating before our eyes, and specifically talking about how he fears he's going to get hit by a drone and how he needs an underground bunker immediately. Do you remember about 9 months or so ago, I was saying the real reason that he was building this ballroom? Remember what I said? I said the ballroom is but a shed, and what the real thing that he's doing is he's building a bunker underneath because he is terrified of the people, and he is terrified of everything. That was back then. Donald Trump used those exact words, that it was a shed, the ballroom, in order to cover up what was really taking place, a massive military installation and bunker. Now, aboard Air Force One, as Donald Trump was heading back from his taxpayer-funded vacation, yet again in his safe space in Florida, he talked about what the real reason is that he's building a ballroom. He's like, it's going to have windows that are going to prevent drones, and we can go underneath, and this way nobody can get me. So as America right now is been hoisted into this unlawful war by Donald Trump, this is what he's talking about, the ballroom, but the bunker underneath as well to protect him from getting hit by drones. Here's what he says. The military building underneath is massive. He goes, and this stupid lawsuit exposed what I was really doing. The ballroom is a shed. Here's what he said aboard Air Force One. Let's play this clip.
There's not one dime of government money going into the ballroom. Now the military is building a big complex under the ballroom, which has come out recently because of a stupid lawsuit that was filed. But the military is building a massive complex under the ballroom, and that's under construction, and we're doing very well. So we're ahead of schedule. That's part of it. The ballroom essentially becomes a shed for what's being built under the military, including from drones and including from any other thing. The glass on the windows, you see the big windows, the glass is extremely thick. It's high-grade bulletproof glass, so all of the windows are bulletproof. I think the Times wrote, gee, some of the windows are fake. We have no fake windows. They said, they talked about a stairway in the South. We don't have a stairway in the South. That was replaced a long time ago.
Now, there were some additional clips of Air Force One where he then tried to be like, well, can we just talk about the ballroom right now? I just think it's easier if we just talk a lot about this and we don't talk about the war, because for Donald Trump, talking about the ballroom is like a safe space for him, right? He knows this war is catastrophic and he's in denial about just how bad it is. So he's like, could we talk about like the Corinthian columns, everybody? And again, this is someone with deep paranoia who's in a deep state, in my opinion, of cognitive and physical deterioration. Let's play this clip as he go, I just want to do this now. I thought it would be easier. Here, play this clip.
Here's another one. Wait, excuse me, wait. I thought I'd do this now because it's easier. I'm so busy that I don't have time to do this. But I'm fighting wars and other things. But this is very important because this is going to be with us for a long time, and it's going to be, I think it'll be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. It's its highest level. Same height, exact height of, not higher, same height as the White House, exactly the same height. And if you look, you have the White House over here, you have this, and that's a duplicate of the wall. So it pays total homage to the White House, which is, I think, very important too.
And then Donald Trump says that about this war, he goes, everybody's saying thank you to me. Everybody is so grateful for me. Here, let's play this clip.
The weapon, they'd use it immediately. I think she's probably a little bit softer on that issue, but that's okay. Some people are. Most people aren't. Most people are saying thank you very much for doing what you did. They are decimated right now.
I just want to remind you as well that Before Donald Trump left to go to Florida, when he held his last cabinet meeting, he kept on bragging about cognitive exams again. And passed another cognitive exam, everybody. Another cognitive exam, everybody. Here, play this clip.
I'll say it right now. I say it because no press never reports it. I'm the only president that ever took a cognitive test. I took it 3 times. It's actually a very hard test for a lot of people. It wasn't hard for me. But it's a cognitive test. It starts off with an easy question. And by the time you get to the middle, it gets tougher. By the time you get to the end, very few people can answer those questions. They get very tough mathematical equations and things. I took it 3 times. I aced it all 3 times in front of numerous doctors that I have no idea who they are. And I was told when I went in, they said, Doc Ronnie told me this. My current doctors are fantastic doctors. They said, well, if you take it, you know, it's Walter Reed. It's essentially a public hospital. And if you do badly, it's probably going to get out. But I aced it. I got them all right. And one doctor said, I've never seen anybody get them all right. I've been doing the test for 20 years. I want people, I would love to see anybody that's a president or a vice president or anybody that has any chance of being a president, I would like to see them take a cognitive test.
And by the way, as I mentioned, you know, the Iranians are seeing Donald Trump physically deteriorate in the videos that they've been making of him. They've been doing, like, the Iranian propaganda people are like doing videos to taunt and mock him. And they always have his hand like bandaged up, or they have his hand being discolored. More on that in a moment. I'll share with you just what they're doing to taunt and mock him as he physically and mentally deteriorates before our eyes. But a reporter asks him, hey, Donald, are you still considering putting boots on the ground? And would you do that without even going to Congress? And then Donald Trump compares his catastrophic war in Iran to the ballroom. He goes, we're ahead of schedule in Iran, like the ballroom. Here, play this clip.
Be soon.
Are you considering still putting boots on the ground, and would you do that without going to Congress?
I just have lots of alternatives. We have tremendous numbers of ships over there. We don't need them all because of, you know, the power. Look, I would say we're just like we're ahead of schedule on the ballroom. In a much bigger way, we're ahead of schedule with Iran. We're weeks ahead of schedule. If you would have said that in 3 days we were going to knock out 158 ships, their entire Navy, which we did, we knocked out their entire Air Force. We knocked out most of their missiles. That's why you see missile attacks, but they're sputtering. And we have a group, it's really a new regime. It's a new group of people that we've never dealt with before, that are acting very reasonable. It is truly regime change.
And then he's like, everybody's talking about how beautiful the ballroom is. It's so beautiful. Here, let's play this clip.
But I think we have it automatically. I did something today. We just got these in from the architects. A lot of people are talking about how beautiful the ballroom is. For 150 years, they've wanted to build a ballroom at the White House. And other presidents have wanted it. When we have dignitaries coming like President Xi of China or anybody else, we have very small rooms. They're not big enough to handle the kind of capacity that you need.
You know what's easier than fixing a problem? Not having the problem in the first place. Your liver is one of those organs that you don't think about until you have to. Supporting it daily is one of those small things that can make a huge difference in how you feel overall, and that's where Dose comes in. Dose for your liver is a clinically backed liver health supplement. This isn't just another capsule or powder. Dose is a liquid supplement. It's taken in a daily 2-ounce shot, and it tastes like fresh squeezed orange juice. Here's why it matters. Your liver is your body's filter. It processes everything you consume and handles over 500 plus daily functions: energy production, digestion, fat metabolism, vitamin storage. When your liver is overworked, you feel it. Dose helps cleanse the liver of unwanted stressors that may be slowing your liver down and it promotes daily liver function so that your liver can do its job. 0 sugar, 0 junk, 0 calories. And when you take Dose Daily, you're going to reduce sluggishness, get rid of those midday crashes, support your metabolism, and even aid your daily digestion. Plus, this is the real deal. There are 2 double-blind placebo-controlled studies showing Dose's positive impact on liver enzyme levels. Are you ready to give your liver the support it deserves? Head to dosedaily.co/Meidas or enter Meidas to get 35% off your first subscription. Your body does so much for you. Let's do something for it. That's dosedaily.co/Meidas, MEIDAS, for 35% off your first month subscription.
And then Donald Trump says, we've already had regime change in Iran, and I'm speaking with the new leaders, and they're so reasonable, and they really like me. Are you having conversations in your head? You're not speaking with the new Iranian leadership. They keep on mocking you because you're not talking to them. And yes, you're probably doing this to manipulate the market as well, but you're not manipulating the market. Everybody recognizes that you just lie about everything. Every word out of your mouth is lie. You are not having conversations with the new Iranian leadership. What do you mean you think they're reasonable people? Like, are you out of your damn mind? The answer is yes, he is out of his damn mind. Quite literally. Here, play this clip.
But we've had regime change, if you look already, because the one regime was decimated, destroyed, they're all dead. The next regime is mostly dead. And the third regime, we're dealing with different people than anybody's dealt with before. It's a whole different group of people. So I would consider that regime change. And frankly, they've been very reasonable. So I think we've had regime change. I mean, you can't do much better than that. The regime that was really bad, really evil was the first one. That was done. The second was appointed, and they're gone. They're all dead, other than one who may have a little life in him. And then they're really in the third group. And the third group of people that seem to be much more reasonable. It truly is regime change. And regime change is an imperative, but I think we have it automatically. I did something today.
And then he goes again, he talks about the Corinthian columns, and this is so Corinthian. What the hell is this guy talking about? Play this clip.
And that porch will be magnificent, looking in between the columns. And they no longer, we took the stairs out that were on the south side and really replaced them with these stairs. So you have an open porch and you have the closed porch under the columns, overlooking the Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial, and the Lincoln Memorial / Monument. So that's great. This is a view of the columns as they are going to be made. They're going to be hand carved and they're beautiful. Top of the line, they'll be Corinthian, which is considered the best, most beautiful by far.
Now, as Donald Trump's support has completely crashed with the Hispanic population, all-time lows, his approval is like 27%, 25%. It's dropped like 60 points or something, like record breaking. He's like, the Hispanics love me more than, no, they don't. They absolutely don't. Play this clip.
Look at how I did with the Hispanic population. And now I'm doing even better with the Hispanic population. And that's bad for them. They always had it. Now they don't have it anymore. These are people.
And then in his paranoia, he says the Democrats are sick. He says the Democrats are the terrorists. They're sick, and the Democrats are like terrorists. Here, play this clip.
They should terminate the filibuster, and they should vote. That's what I think. Look, I think the Senate is playing it too soft. The Republicans are wonderful people, but we're dealing with very sick individuals. The Democrats are sick. There's something wrong. They're like terrorists, and we have to protect our country. We have to protect our border. We have to protect our wall. It was up to them. They'd open up the wall. They'd let millions of people pour into our country again. And we've all been through that.
Then finally, Donald Trump says the Iranians have agreed. They're going to give up their nuclear weapons. They're going to give up their nuclear dust. They're going to give up everything. You're not even talking to them. They're not talking to you. You're making this all up. You know, I don't know if these are just delusions in your mind, if this is manipulating the market, which I think is the main reason why you're doing this. But I also think you're delusional. they're not they've already talked about their non-negotiables. They will not talk about anything that reduces their ballistic missile capability. They will not talk about anything unless the United States agrees to full reparations for the war. They will not agree to anything unless they get to keep control of the Strait of Hormuz and charge a toll. They will not talk at all unless the U.S. gives firm security guarantees that they, Hezbollah, the Shiite militias in Iraq and others will never be targeted by the U.S. and Israel again, and the U.S. and Israel need to get off all the military bases in the Middle East. Those are non-negotiable, but you can keep on pretending that you're having a conversation with them. Here, play this clip.
Thank you very much for doing what you did. They are decimated right now. They're going to give up nuclear weapons. They're going to give us the nuclear dust. They're going to do everything that we want to do. And you know what? They're going to go on and maybe have a great country again. But if they don't do that, they're not going to have a country. They're not even going to have a country.
And then, just so you can all see, Iranian state media and Iranian propagandists are seeing Donald Trump's fear, and they're making videos about his fear. And they're, basically, saying, look how scared he is, in order to mock him. Here's one such video that they're doing these AI generated videos. And here's one of them where they portray him as sweaty and panicking, playing this clip.
Say, I'm not a pedophile.
I'm not a pedophile. Liar!
Say I wasn't on Epstein's island.
I wasn't on Epstein's island. Liar!
Say I don't worship Baal.
I don't worship Baal. Liar!
And here it is where they don't seem intimidated at all, but they always portray him as sweating and scared. Play this clip. They have him trying to eat like the Middle Eastern food. Here, play this clip. And then here was their latest animation where they try to portray Donald Trump as being scared. Here, play this clip. And so tactically, they see in him someone who is cognitively, physically deteriorating, and they're directing these videos in order to, in order to try to share and expose what they view as kind of his weakness and his failings. They're talking about, I just want to show you what they're doing generally there, what's going viral on the internet, so you can also see what they're sharing. I mean, and how he looks, how he's perceived outside of his cult here in the United States. Anyway, hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. And thanks everybody for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.